Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Sakin Haidar, an information systems student at UTPLN with the student ID 2024-32044. Today, I will present my findings on web scraping on the big data introduction course, covering both the theoretical foundations and the practical applications I've executed in this practical. The first one, to start, let's define what web scraping is. In my own words, web scraping is an automation technique used to retrieve or extract large amount of data from a website quickly and efficiently. While humans can manually copy and paste data, web scraping allows a program or tool to read the HTML structure, map out the information, and save it into structured formats like CSV or Excel. Essentially, we are commanding the computer to harvest information from the internet at scale. When scraping with Python, we rely on three core libraries. There are requests. This acts as a communication bridge, sending HTTP requests to the target website server so we can download the raw content. The second one is Beautiful Soup. This is our parser. It sets messy HTML code into a neat structure, making it easy to find specific elements like product, labels, or prices. And then also there are pandas. It is a powerful data manipulation tool used to organize extracted data into tables called data frames, perform cleaning, and save the data permanently for analysis. Why data matters? Well, data is the new gold of the digital age because it hides patterns and trends essential for accurate accurate decision making. However, raw data is often messy and unreadable. We must process this data to transform. We must process this data, like cleaning it and and structuring it, to transform random characters into meaningful insights. Without processing it, data is just a useless pile of numbers. With it, we get a clear big picture for solving problems. On the last two practicum that I did in last practicum big data introduction, I have several conclusions to conclude the practicum. First one, automation is significantly increases work efficiency. And on the first practicum showed that the use said that using visual tools makes it easier for beginners, while the second practicum with Python provided a deeper flexibility and control. But both methods prove that mastering data extraction technology is a fundamental skill in data science lifecycle or in big data lifecycle. All right. And then, as per Ibu Dwina uh, said in our last class, big data refers to dataset characterized by extreme volume, velocity, and variety. It represents a phenomenon where digital activity exceeds the processing capacity of conventional computers. Or in other words, big data is not just about the massive quantity, but also about how we use advanced technology to manage and extract value or insights from such highly complex data. To do that, there are several tools that we can do to collect data. For example, like no-code scraping. We can use the web scraper browser extension or Octopath. For programming base, we could use the Python scraping or Beautiful Soup. And for the API base, to retrieve, we use this to retrieve data from platforms like Twitter or Google Maps. This is the dynamic platform. All right, we done for the theoretical foundation. We move into the practical. The first one practical is uh, web scraping using a browser extension. In here, I use browser extension web scraper to scrape a fake job portal. I created a sitemap. Wait, ah, in here. Uh, I'm sorry. Uh, delete method. I created a sitemap named 2024 underscore header underscore laptop satu and targeted real python.github.io slash jobs. The to targeting this website that is the back job portal to got scrapped by the Chrome extension that is web scrapper. And then we click the save sitemap and then we go to select the selector. In here, I define a record wrapper with a div column selector and enable multiple options, which is a crucial step to ensure the scrapper captures every item on the page rather than just the first result. All right, and then after we done choose the selector, we save the selector, and then we scrape the data. We scrape the website. After running the script, a pop-up window appeared as the bot navigated through the site. Extracted data was exported. Oh, it's not shown in the video. But yeah, the extracted data. Well, if you wait, no, if you click this start scraping, then it will running the pop-up window appear as the bot navigated to the site that will extracting the data or scraping the website and export the data that been in in the website. All right, and then after you done scraping the website, you could go to export data for exporting the data into structured format like Excel or CSV. And then after that, after you done downloading the CSV file, you could go to the CSV, open the CSV, and then you could make it be structured or tidy up the data. We could go to the data and then text to column. We just delimited next we we choose the delimiters with comma because in our data, the separators of each column is, is represented by comma. And then we choose next and then finish. And then for tidying up this messy data, we could just uh, control choose all or control A, and then click Alt-HOI and Alt-HOA, and then for making it be more cleanless look, we could uh, do this all borders and then done. You have your own data unstructured table. All right. And then we move into the next practicum, that is uh, Python. Wait, I'll open the Python first. All right. In here, the second practicum was more robust because I used a Jupyter notebook to target an e-commerce website. In the first one, I used the request.get to uh, to pull the HTML content, and then I print the response status code and also print the response text, and then the output shows to us the HTML structure of the targeted website, and then after that we could use the beautiful search with the HTML parser in here, HTML parser for searching on the division text. In here, I use the HTML parser to search on the division text. I identified that there are 117 left unlocked by searching for division text with the thumbnail class. All right. And then we move into the next line. This is where the logic became more detailed. I wrote a for loop to iterate through each block. I use find function for specific text like A for the title and H4 for the prices and etc. And I implemented the if else conditional statement. This ensured that if a laptop was missing a rating or a review, the code would insert an empty string instead of crashing the entire script. I printed the results using fstring to confirm the data, such as access with a book at $729 was collectively mapped like that. And then for the final stage, I use Python Tipwriter to save the result to laptop.csv, ensuring the UTF-8 encoding to prevent the character errors. I then use the pandas to read the file back into a data frame, seeing the 117 rows and 5 columns perfectly aligned in the notebook output was my and the notebook output was my confirmation of success. Well, just like in the first article, I ended by refining the layout in Excel to ensure a professional presentation of the product specification. All right. To conclude, this practical demonstrated that while extension uh, are excellent for quick tasks, Python provides the scalability needed for serious data engineering. I have learned that the quality of for analysis depends entirely on the cleanliness and structure of the data that we collect. Thank you for your attention.